Alright, I was not scared of the apocalypse and end of days until I started offloading all the stuff from her vehicle into this truck. See, and we also have this box here. I got to put what's in there together once we get up there. And what we're doing is we're loading up here and we're going to our cabin that we built from the ground up. Just me and SNES's. We built it from the ground up, the entire thing. If you're interested in that and how we did that, there's a playlist at the end of this video. Please stay tuned and check that out at the end of this video. Got a barrel. We got something I grabbed out of a house I demoed, and we got some lumber, and we got cool awesomeness in that box that I have to put together. So yeah, we're getting ready to roll out here very shortly. All right, when we're not off-grid building houses out in the middle of the woods, you know, sometimes we go ahead and paint other people's houses and do general carpentry and contracting. But here I got a Graco Ultra airless handheld spray gun for paint, and I mean, this thing is just absolutely incredible. I mean, you can just kind of All right, we are getting ready to go into the second leg of our journey, and you may still be wondering, what is in that box? All right, so what was in that box? Here we go. All right, it's a Lucid king-size mattress, and it's a bed in a box. Came from Walmart, and it costs a little bit over 500 bucks. So gel memory foam, and once it's done doing what it does, it's going to be 14 inches thick, and I think it takes like 24 hours for the air or whatever to come into all the memory foam stuff and the gel and all that and actually get to its proper size. So here's the difference between the new bed and the old bed. That's a full and that's a king right there. The size difference is just insane.
This is some glamping for sure.
What about this?
Here's my creamy chicken. Yeah, little creamy chicken.
And I'm just sitting here at the window looking at her while she's working. That's messed up. Hopefully she doesn't see this. All right, so what just happened here?
I made this really cool privacy wall.
So it took us about 2 hours, and we got all that wood there. I'll go ahead and throw a tape on it and see exactly how many cords we have, or close to a cord or whatever. But that was all that was right there on that freaking huge tree. And now it's all stacked up and pretty right there. All right, so the end of last winter, we were sleeping like this. Huh?
So I'll start putting nothing here.
Okay. All right, so next morning, and I guess we're getting ready to head out. We got snow, or sleet. Right now it's saying it feels like 20 degrees. It's still snow, sleeting, whatever you want to call it. So we're gonna go ahead and head on out. And
Why are you doing this to me?
And now what we got going on is we...
My hair's a mess.
Alright, so I got all this done, and this is the concept right here. That's Sandy has to just woke up and is drinking coffee. Okay, so what we have going on here is I've got the plug coming up from the inverter to the TV, and the charger thingamajig right there. It sits on there, and then this plugs into the phone, so whatever's playing on the phone goes to the HDMI cable and plays on television. So I don't use up any of my, I just use my unlimited for running television. All right, and then we have these floating corner desk side table type things, which are pretty freaking sweet, as you can see there. And then this is the front view here. Talk about exactly how it is I hook up all that. I moved all this stuff into here. Got all this stuff going on. Got this full bathroom rolling in here. Still got a lot of work to do in there. In the end of last winter, we were eating like this.
Here's a tour of my lovely kitchen. I have my 10-minute kitchen table, some bowls, some slightly melted styrofoam cups, plastic spoons and forks, extra paper towels. This is some water to wash your hands, and hand soap, and then sanitizer for after. I've got my wonderful cooktop here, and if you can see in the background, my beautiful paper towel holder.
And now we're eating like this.
Fresh steamed broccoli, fried potatoes, tenderloin steak, toasted bagels, and Caesar salad.
Alright, so what I'm doing today is I'm going ahead and I'm building a bed frame, some side tables, and a little table that's going to be at the foot of the bed that's going to house the television and entertainment system. So what I'm doing right now, I'm just going to be a simple, very simple concept on how I'm going to do this, and I'll go ahead and show each step as I kind of lay the boards out, what have you. So I put the 3 clamps down, and now I'm putting the stringers on it, 4 of those, and then I've got one here just because I don't want, you know, the end grain here to stick in this direction. So that's why I went ahead and cut these. These are cut down 1.5 inches short of 8 foot, each of these 3 clamps. Got the bed completely framed. Now I'm just putting on 3/4 inch plywood. I had already ripped that piece in half there, so I just kind of had to work with it, but this is what it is pretty much. Real simple, and it's going to have little cubby holes in the sides here. Got it down pretty much, and that right there is about as solid of a bed as you can get. And SNES is just in time after the work's done.
I was working.
Oh.
Look at this. This is pretty fancy, isn't it?
Okay, and now for the power hookup. Okay, what's going on here is we have the power coming in from the generator up to the floor there, and then it goes into these 2 chargers. These 2 chargers charge this battery. These batteries, this battery bank right here, it's almost 400 amp hour battery bank right here. All right, and then over here what we have is the inverter, and now I've got this timer on here for turning on and off the generator. This is the remote control for the generator, on and off, and here's a window. I can just put it right there and turn it on and off. So that way I know when I'm close to out of gas. So I put it on a timer for 11 hours. It's a 12 and some change hour run time generator before you got to refuel it. I don't have an extender for the gas yet, but I'm probably going to get one. So this is pretty much, and then I've got solar panels coming in up there, and they're also feeding into the bank, and then it's also got this voltmeter on it right there, as you can see. And then this right here, this is all shore power right there. And then of course this is the inverter, of course, is running from the battery bank. So that's how that works out here. All right, and now I am in the kitchen, and what is going on out here is, okay, we have the shore power also running to this right here, this receptacle, and then that runs heavy appliances, microwave, the coffee maker, the stove top right there, our little mini range right there. And see, okay, right here what we have going on is I just have these 2, they're pretty flat batteries, as you can see right there. And they have one just 10-watt panel charging those. And then, I mean, that does an okay job of charging them up during the day. They're flat batteries anyway. So, and then that goes to the inverter. And then the inverter, what it does is it runs. So basically this is like a light switch right there. Turn that on. And then that light turns on right there, and then I can go over to the remote and turn the fan on and make it do different settings and what have you. So that's pretty much the way that this works out here. All right, and then my lighting situation, I'm kind of leaning towards these like really heavily here. Okay, it's basically, it's a DeWalt battery. It's a knockoff DeWalt battery, 6 amp hour right there. It's got this deal right here. Has USB deals on it, and this goes right into this light. And I like this light so far. It's been my favorite one. I bought a whole bunch of different ones to kind of try to figure out which one I like the best. It's got nice, it lasts a long time on that battery right there. And when you turn it on and off, it keeps the memory of the last setting you had, which I really like. And it's also got, it changes modes right here. So there's that light. There's that bluish type of light. And there's a regular old light. And then you can also, you can bring it down. I'm going to push down here on the brightness. And yeah, I like this one so far. It's been my favorite, as far as I think that's really going to be our lighting for the whole freaking place. It's going to be these batteries, and we just recharge them whenever we fire up the generator. And that's also what I do here, because I have all the charging stuff all go ahead, and it all goes into the shore power right here. I go over this whole plumbing system in old videos, so if you haven't seen any of the old ones and you're curious about how it is that I do all this stuff, just go ahead and check that out. I built this whole entire place from the ground up, so everything is in the playlist and in the video at the top right hand corner. Alright, so what I just did here is I just went ahead and I moved this toilet. It was going this way, so I thought it'd be cool to be able to look out the window, but it was just too freaking close. So I just moved the whole freaking thing 90 degrees so that it's facing out this way as opposed to facing that way. And in the process of doing that, see what I have going on here is I have the drain from the sink. What it does is it goes into, see there? It goes into the tank of the toilet. And I always had to keep this off here because you had to visually and manually just look at the line to see where the water was. So what I just did here is I just went ahead and I put this level on here so that what happens here is that we will know when the water is at the right spot, when that bubble's in the middle, so that we can flush the freaking toilet. And it's just this level right here. It goes on a string line, so like a string line level in case you don't have a transit. That works for that. But I just got that on a piece of soldering iron or solder stuff right there, and it just goes on this. And this is what that does naturally, like when it's a regular system. See, when it's lower, and then it comes up as the water fills it, and then right when it's in the middle, you can go ahead and flush it. And the flush line's right there anyway, so right there is perfect. Yeah, and I forgot to say, I try to save water because I have a rain collection system. And every now and then I'll just go ahead and drop a tiny piece of chlorine stuff right here for like a pool. Just drop it right in there, and that works great. Also, sometimes might need to drop some bleach or something in there. But anyway, yeah, I just do that to save water, just so that all the wastewater from the gray water, whatever you want to call it, from the, brushing your teeth and washing your hands and stuff in the bathroom, it just goes in there. It just saves a whole freaking heck of a lot of water. And I mean, I go over all this stuff on this channel. I literally did all this stuff from the ground up with very limited resources, and it's working out great. This is the best off-grid tiny house channel. I'm talking about water and water collection. I went ahead and I picked this thing up right here. It's a 3-stage RV water filter system. And I mean, it just hooks right in the hoses. And I was going to put that right before the pump. And I just haven't done it yet. I don't know if I'm going to put that thing on there. I'm not 100% sure yet. I might just, wait to hold off on that. But I do have that thing. But right now, it doesn't really seem like we need it. Like, we don't drink the water that comes from the roof. And that thing, it was roughly like $100 or so. This is the chlorine I use. It's just like those little hockey puck type things. And I just like hit it with a freaking hammer and take like a tiny piece off of there and just drop it in this tank every now and then. So I went ahead and decided to go ahead and hook up this 3-stage RV water filter system. And what I did here, I mean, I was kind of leery about doing it because it adds 1, 2, 3, 4 more places for there to be problems. Not to mention these primer things right here. It adds more area, more probability of something to go wrong in the whole freaking system. And not to mention that, it also restricts the water flow, of course, because going through all that filter system, it's going to slow my water down. But it seems to be working all right. I went ahead and I hooked it all up, and she's working fine. Now I'm going to talk a little bit more about the toilet setup. I got this bubble back here. I talked about that in a couple clips back there. And as you can see, the tank is full right now. And what is happening is when the tank is full, it pushes that bubble all the way to my left right there. And then when I go ahead and I flush the toilet, you'll see the bubble move back to where it is when it's resting. And I know it's time that this tank is full enough to flush the toilet when this bubble right here is right in the middle. And it's real simple. It's connected to that thing right there, and that thing right there naturally shuts off the water fill when it's actually hooked up correctly. And then I've just got this this drainage pipe coming from the sink, just like so. And yeah, everything seems to be working out pretty well so far with that. And real quick here, down here is going to be all covered up, and over here I'm talking about on the floor. Around the washing machine, washer dryer combo is going to be all covered up, and like all this built-in countertops, and I'm going to put a breakfast bar right there, and all this stuff like on the floor, it's all going to be, go ahead and have some kind of, seeing this built-in furniture and everything. That's less flooring that I have to deal with when it comes time to that. I mean, that's why I didn't do the flooring first. So like any built-in furniture and stuff, like I'm not going to have to put in flooring there because it's going to be covered up. So, I mean, that's just kind of why I did that and why I'm waiting so late to do the flooring.
Stomping her feet.
A little demo job that I did last week, and just out of the spirit of being environmentally conscious, I went ahead and I salvaged this cabinet right here that's over top the sink off of it, and it's pretty nice. Do you like it?
Yes.
And what we have going on here is SNDS's is making some amazing steak and some egg noodles with a little bit of tomato sauce on them. And right now she is buttering up a whole bunch of randomness. I don't know exactly what she's doing, but I guess I'll find out when it's dinner time, right?
You don't need to worry your pretty little self about this. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe.